right, here we go on to Breeders' Cup Saturday edition. We get to see the 3-year-olds and up battling it out. Boys, girls, little bit of everything. Stretch, what about the temperature on Saturday?
Well, it's about a degree or so cooler. 26 Celsius, 78 Fahrenheit. Again, doesn't look like any concern of the track, fast and firm. And I've got money on the hand, so I'm ready to go. Maybe I made money on the Friday card.
Well, let's hope you did. Let's hope we both did.
For sure.
We're going to start it off in race number 3 for the Breeders' Cup Mile. They're going that 1 mile distance. Scratch number 2, Practical Move, an early scratch. And number 7, Algiers. Stretch, what do you like?
Yeah, so let's start. We're on the same horse. As a reminder, just as we get going, this is where there's even bigger pools coming in on this. We got a little more form, not as few starts. So watch how the track played on the Friday. Maybe take a look at our show. We added a few things in the intro, but let's get right to the 3 as both of our top selection. And this horse is just running so well. I tried to beat this horse, but I just couldn't find anything. So
I tried to too.
You're either on Cody's bandwagon or against. I just went for this horse. He beat me last year in this race off a layoff. I think the horse might even be coming into the race a little bit better. Should get a great trip. 7 for 7 at the distance. And it's just certainly right there. My second pick got scratched, so that's why the 3 for me is even stronger. Anything to add on the 3?
Yeah, no doubt about it. You could cross out that race 2 outs ago, going the mile and an 8 distance. As you said, 7 for 7. There's some speed to go out to the front, and it isn't cutthroat speed. I expect Cody's Wish to be relatively close at every given point and show that big charge down the lane that it showed in the last start and previously in the wins.
Yeah, and I'm glad you mentioned about that kind of poor effort. That's at Saratoga, and if the kind of the running thing is that's where favorites go to die, and some just don't like some just don't like the track. So didn't like the footing. Just it's such an easy throw out. Let's go to the 5 as my now second selections moved up after the scratch. Hasn't beaten the 3 yet, but I think this horse can certainly complete the exactor. You get the equipment change that didn't seem to work. I think when the blinkers were off, the horse seemed to run a little bit better, sat close. So I think there's more.
I think it showed a little bit more speed. Stretch.
Exactly. So I've got that on that one. My third choice now is the 4. If somebody gets the lead, that might be the 4 and try to steal it. You always want to be careful, and if the other ones just kind of sit back. So maybe that horse can finish third in there. So I've got it 3, 5, and 4.
Yeah, I ended up going to National Treasure, one of the 3-year-olds in the race. This horse ran absolutely huge in the Preakness. Since then, has run well, but not well enough to hit the winner's circle. But I think this horse is going to get a great trip on the outside. Now that it's a more compact field of 7, this horse will be forward in the race. And I think sitting in the top 2 will overtake and then wait for Cody's Wish to come flying from behind. But I really like National Treasure for second, and Charge It, your second choice. I really like this horse also. Can't beat Cody's Wish, but is running in the grade 1s. This is a race where there isn't a lot of grade 1s in it, so I think Charge It, third best in here for me. I'm 3, 9, and 5. Now we're going to carry on to race number 4. That's the Breeders' Cup, filly and Mare Turf. They're going to go 1.25 miles. Stretch. That's a long way.
It is a long way. For interest sakes, it's about 50-50 in here between Euros and North Americans. Sometimes you just think they dominate. This is just, like I said, about 50-50. And take note, there's horses that like to go the mile. 1.25 miles is a little different strategy. It's harder to carry your speed, and just a lot more tactical on that. So kind of watch out for that. Of interest sake, only one horse in the last 15 have gone gate to wire. So pay attention to that. Let's go to the bombs away horse of the day for me, but it's not that bombs away because you've got this horse on there as well. So this horse has 4 starts, 2 wins, 2 seconds at the distance. Had a prep at Woodbine. I like this horse. It was showed that the horse needed one. It kind of kept going, but kind of maybe ran out of gas just a bit. So I liked how the trainers brought this horse in and gets that next start. So 20-1, I could not leave this horse out. I know it's your third selection. Why did you include that one there, Kirt?
Well, only one bad race in its last 8 starts, and that was beaten double digits, where the horse went to the lead in there and wasn't usually on there. So I like this horse as it's coming off the pace and just the way it's running. All those route races is 4 for 4 in the money at the distance with 2 wins, 2 seconds. I definitely think this is a live play.
Sure, and your top selection is my third.
Well, that's Inspiral. Here's a horse that has yet to go the distance, but boy, this horse loves to win. Has won 8 out of 12 starts, comes off a grade 1 win where they absolutely destroyed by 3 in the previous start. Another win in a big field. And it was amazing that the horse didn't run well in the small field of 5. I think this horse likes the bigger field, the pace to run at. There will be pace to run at in here. So Inspiral, I think this is the horse to beat.
Yeah, I like the horse. Same thing. It's just a matter of if she can get the extra distance. Watch out. That was the only why of it. Third, my second selection is the 9, a North American in here that's 4 race or at the distance 4 races, 3 wins and a second. The trainer's 21% off second off layoff. If you call that last one a prep, watch out. And that was in a grade 2 coming into this. I think this horse has every reason to improve. Certainly can be, for me, a must use in the exotics. 396.
Yeah, another horse for me to use is the 2 Warm Heart. Well, Aidan O'Brien, how can you not throw this type of horse in? Yeah, Ryan Moore, these guys, they're a 38% win clip going together. So it's tough to pick against a horse like this. And when Ryan Moore does ride the horse, he does have 2 wins and a second place finish, is 2 for 2 at the distance. I think that's a big key. And coming off a good grade 1 win, winning by a neck, and the previous win also by a neck. But this horse runs so well, even after stumbling. That stumble was horrible in the last start, was able to recover. I think this horse is legit, so I'm going to give you 6, 2, and 3. Now we're going to carry on to race number 5. That's the filly and mare sprint. They're going to go 7 furlongs. Last year's winner is our top selection. Good night, Olive, who paid 2-1.
Yeah, you're not going to get 2-1 today or on Saturday. Every year there's standouts in the Breeders' Cup, and a bunch of them win. It's just that's the case. You get your lower prices, and you kind of have to be part of it. Some you just try to you can't beat, and that's the case. 8 starts at the distance, 6 wins, a second and a third. Has the right running style. One last time going away at this distance, just kind of stalked and took over. My only little negative is I would have liked to seen this horse maybe have a little more a workout in there. There could be a late one. I don't have it right now, but other than that, if it takes to the surface, watch out.
Yeah, I wasn't going to beat Echo Zulu last time out. Echo Zulu went to the front and walked on the field, but I don't see a horse going wire to wire in here. There's a lot of speed. 2, 3, 7, and 9 all have speed to show in here. So I'm with you, Stretch, with Goodnight Olive.
Yeah, and you just called the other speed, and you know that none of those are on my ticket. I went to the 5. I actually bet this horse last time, hoping to get a good trip, and not a good trip. He got a great trip behind all the speed up front. Looked really good on the turn, made the move, took over. I think the horse certainly can be part of the exactor. You're getting 10-1. Maybe not a win bet, if the one falters, but for me, got to use him in the exactor.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I really like this horse also. And it's a little bit of the home field advantage, too. You're going to see that on some of the horses are really going to not like the racetrack. So the ones that do like the racetrack just might get a better trip. So Kirsten Bosch, I also like. I also threw in number 7, Society. This is a horse that has been running so well in the last 2 starts. Absolutely crushed them in the Chicago at Ellis Park, and then came back, did the same thing, crushed them again in that wire-to-wire fashion. But there is other speed in here. The 9 has hooked the 7 before, setting it up for Goodnight Olive to go by and get the win. But I think it's just better than the other speed. So that's why I have 1, 7, and 5. Now we're going to carry on to race number 6. It's the Breeders' Cup Mile. They're going to go 1 mile on the turf stretch. And this was a race where it was an easy play last year, as Modern Games was the even money favorite and got it done. But I don't think it's going to be that easy today.
I'm on the fence on that one. Let's go with we got 4 turf mile, 4 girls, 10 boys. No race is ever easy, first of all. But the race does favor Euros. There's not a lot of the Japanese horses are really starting to improve.
Ever coming around.
Really coming around. You just the first few a few years ago, you didn't trust very much, and they seem to struggle a little bit. Not anymore.
And then won at 60-1.
Correct.
And set up my big pick 3.
Oh, do you remember
Just
that?
had to throw that in.
I like it. Why not?
You got to remember your wins.
You got to remember your wins, and especially at 60-1. Let's go to the 10. This horse was supposed to run last year and had some inflammation. I couldn't possibly say the name of the inflammation. I looked at it. I'm not even attempting it. I like that this horse chose the distance, because you've got 9 starts, 5 wins at the distance. The horse wins races. I just think that she can be there to win, but be careful. For me, it's a key and a win bet, no place or show, because she can run great, a bunch of those, and then she's got a couple not so good efforts in there. So kind of pay attention to that. That's my top selection. Anything to add on
yeah,
her?
The 10 horse, the only bad blemish this year was that first start off a long layoff, but since then she has been absolutely dynamite. I think she's also going to be a big player in this race. My top selection in here, I went to number 3, Casa Creed. Here's a horse that's been running lights out as of late. Comes off of 2 straight wins at Saratoga. And this one actually ran a great race against Songline and lost by a narrow neck. But you have to reach down to February of 2022. But I just think Casa Creed has a great running style for the race. Sitting just off it in here, I think is going to get the first jump on those leaders and try and hold off Songline, who will be coming like a freight train.
For sure. And my long shot in here is the 2, or my second selection. Was looking for a price and the trip horse in here, and I think that's what Gina is all about. She's got a nice turn of foot, which you obviously need to be to win races on the turf, but especially in these races, she gets that. Morning line's 12-1. I think 10-1 is a fair price. And my third selection would be the 4, a Euro coming in here that ran relatively close to Songline, and I just think they're just, again, 30-1, maybe not to win it, but certainly can be there. So I'll go 10-4.
Yeah, my rounding out at the top 3, I went to Master of the Seas. This horse does really well at the distance, 9 starts, 8 for 9 in the money with 4 wins and 3 seconds. Comes off a win 2 outs ago and a narrow defeat last time out by a nose. This horse has such a good kick. That race at Woodbine, that was so easy for the horse. That was the paid workout. The Keeneland race, so much tougher, but the horse ran such a good race. Was a winning race, but lost the head bob in the end. So I'm giving you 3, 10, and 14. Now we're going to carry on to race number 7. It's the Breeders' Cup Distaff. They're going to go 1 mile and an 1/8 on the dirt. Malafat, the winner last year of this race at 3-1. Stretch, what do you like?
Yeah, it's interesting race in here, and I'm interested to watch the race shape and what the jockeys decide to do, because the top contenders all can get to the lead and battle, or they can sit off. I think if somebody gets loose, then watch out. So I don't think anybody will.
I can't see that happening.
I'm with you, but that would be one way that would the others think there's too much speed, sit back. But we'll see. Like just in my notes that you're reading, I don't think it will happen. So Kirt decides to say that. So anyway, here we go. I'm going to go to the 4. This horse has gone to the lead, but certainly doesn't need the lead at all. This horse can certainly come off the pace. It just was so much the best the last couple times it just went. I do like some of the races, 3 back sitting third, beaten 3. I think that's the race. And if that's the case, tough to beat. They let her go. Watch out. My top selection.
Yeah, I agree with you that she's not a need the lead, cutthroat speed, but she does have good gate speed to get out there and get great positioning. And those buyer numbers, they just stayed right at the 100 level. So she's peaking at the right time, coming off of 4 consecutive wins. I think she's going to be a big player. My top selection in here is number 3, Pretty Mischievous, just because both the 4 and the 5 could stalk if they want to, but I think one of them will show speed and go with number 8, Randomized. So if that does happen, I think it sets up for the closer. Pretty Mischievous does fit the bill. Yes, it is a 3-year-old filly tackling the older, but this horse has shown such a great kick down the lane each and every time. Has been able to get the distance rather easily at 7 furlongs. Isn't quite as good, but gets the 1.125 today. I just think she's peaking at the right time and coming off that good second last time out. I think Pretty Mischievous, the best closer in the field.
Yeah, like your selection, just to add to that race at Parks, that was a speed holding day, and it was tough for closers to get there. So that horse looks even better based on the against the bias. That's something you want to pay attention to as the day goes. If speed or closers are you can't find them because they're just not closing, then we'd have to adjust our picks. That's my third selection. Didn't leave the horse out. I used the 6, one of 2 Chad Brown's horses, because I believe that the 8 is going to the lead. And so if that horse is going to the lead, this one's going to sit back. They're both not going to the lead. So I think this horse could get a nice trip in there. And she's had some grade 1s in there and been right there. So with the right trip and maybe improve a little bit, 4-6-3.
Yeah, I ended up throwing in number 5, Adair Manor, as my show horse in here, just because of the way she's running. Love Santa Anita. So winning 5 out of 6 starts. And here's another one that could go to the lead, but doesn't have to. She ran a great stalking effort 2 outs ago, but her main forte is run and gun. And if she gets caught up in it, I think she's still good enough to stick around for a piece. So I'm going to give you 3, 4, and 5. Now we're going to carry on to race number 8. It is the Breeders' Cup Turf, going 1.5 miles. Rebels Romance did win this race. It seems like a little bit of a Euro race because they're going so far.
Very good, Kirt.
Hey,
here's
that?
Stretch's fun facts going here. Euros usually make up about 40% of the field, but they win 65% of the time. And so that's where we have to pay attention. The Euros excel quite a bit. Here's a great stat. Aidan O'Brien has had a horse in the top 3 for the last 5 years and has won 3 of them.
Wow.
So guess who Stretch is going to? Yes, the 5-horse, Aidan O'Brien's horse right here. Fits all the trends from past winners, has the right running style, wins at the distance. That's all I need. 5.
Yeah, there's no doubt I like this horse also. Even though it's a 3-year-old tackling Holder, it did go against Holder in its last 2 starts, winning the last one. And I agree with you. Aidan O'Brien, Ryan Moore, well, 38% win clip. This is one with a big shot. But I took a Japanese horse in here. I took a shot on the 1. This is a horse that ran very well. And even last year in mid-March, ran against Yabir. Well, who's that? That was a Breeders' Cup winner in 2021. And since then, does come off a muddied line last time out. Not sure what happened in the race. Pulled up early and just coasted across the wire. But this horse definitely has good enough lines in there. That inside draw I really like. I also like that the horse sits forward in the race. So I think that's going to be a real handy thing. And with the Japanese horses getting better and better each and every year, I think this could be a bombs away.
Okay, we're both on the 9 as our second selection. We have another Euro. We have another top trainer coming from Europe. I think the horse players that play it all the time know all about John, but the casual may not know how good he is, and I think you can get a better price that way. So two back, a race that I like the best. It was winning going away. Hasn't won at the specific distance, but very close. Almost the distance. So they run all sorts of different distances. depending on the configuration of the track. So I don't think you can leave that horse out.
Yeah, I agree with you here. You got a top trainer, you got a Euro. I'm all about the Euros in here, so I'm 1-9-5. Now we're going to carry on to race number 9. It's the Breeders' Cup Classic, as they're going to go 1.25 miles. A big scratch in here. Arcangelo is out. It was an early scratch, and this was a race that last year was won by Flightline, who went off at 1-2 and was a rather easy race for Flightline, and I don't think it's that easy.
No. A couple things. Normally, this is also the last race of the Breeders' Cup. The order has been changed a little bit, and that's fine. Change it up.
Sure.
I went back and forth on my top selections. You've got my selection in third, but I'll start with the one that I've got listed on top. I'm using both. I'm going to go to the 3. I think this horse can get a great trip and can sit back and then make a late run. Has a couple of solid works coming at Santa Anita, which I do like. I think gets that right trip, does need a similar race, and can't regress at all. So I think that's my top selection. Your top selection?
Yeah, my top selection is the Japanese Invader, 6 for 6 in the win column, having a great year. 3 starts in 2023. Did ship over to Dubai and made quick work of a 15-horse field in there, drawing off to win by 2, and that was never in doubt, that race. I think this is one of the special Japanese horses, and that's why it's my top play.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just want to add one thing. They've been working this horse at the gate, and he's been struggling at the gate because of the
heard that.
configuration. I think the horse, they'll figure it out. They've got to put some padding and stuff on it. If he doesn't like the gate, he's probably nowhere. If he gets in and goes, then watch out. Let's talk about the 12. I've got time for story time.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go story time. So this is one of my favorite horses. Last year, this horse raced at Keeneland on the undercard. The story here is flying to Toronto for Woodbine and had to rush to the track to make a bet on this horse because the workout keyed it in the pick 5, which I did get that day. And just as any horse player that knows you've got to play, you got to get to the track, rush, and get the cab dropped off, run to the wickets, get it, he wins. Ended up being a good day. What does this have to do with this horse? To bet this race? Not a lot. It was just a story time. This horse has talent. That's all I got is this horse can press, take over. This horse has the most upside. You know what you got with the 3? 8's an unknown. The 12, if it lives up to the billing, watch out. Can't leave it out. 3, 12, 8.
Yeah, I'm adding in the 5, Derma Sotogaki. This horse was very, very hyped for the Derby and just didn't fire, but did have some trouble early on and wasn't really able to get the position to get there and make that big late move. Had some really good races previous to that in Japan. And I got 2 Japanese horses in one race. I never thought I'd ever have that, but I expect a big bounce back race for the 5. So I'm going to give you 8, 3, and 5. Now we're going to carry on to race number 10. And this should be an interesting one. Stretch, 14 horses going 5 furlongs on the turf, as this is the turf sprint. And this produced a big winner last year, Caravel, who's back in here as a 3-horse, but I don't think you're going to get 42-1.
You're killing me. That was my entire intro.
Oh, sorry.
I got nothing. I might as well just go right to the 5 because I got nothing left. Thank you, Kirt. That's fine. He's right on everything. He got everything correct. Anyway, let's move on to my top selection. I'm going with the speed of the speed. You don't see 20 and 4 very often, not to mention a Keeneland on the turf. This tells me that this horse should get the lead if it wants it. Maybe if we can get a 21 and 1. That might save just enough. Also cuts back from 5.5 to 5. So I think that nice start over in North America, a little different on the surroundings. Yes, it is a different track. Certainly could go gate to wire. I got the one. You might as well steal my thunder on this one. Go ahead.
Well, I see a pile of speed in here. I think you might get hooked on the front end. So I went the closer route, and I went to Big Invasion on the inside. Big Invasion. This is a horse that just seems to get it going since it came back from overseas, had a good second, and then came back with a win and loves the distance. 6 wins in 9 starts. Horses that really love the distance, you got to give them some extra consideration, especially if you think the race is going to fit them as they are a closer and you think there's a lot of speed, or vice versa. You think it's a speed horse and there's no other speed to go with it. But Big Invasion, you get Rosario. I don't like that it ran a bad race against Noble and Motorist, but that wasn't that bad of a race, and the horse did clip heels that day. So with a better start, might have ran better. I'm liking the 15-1. That's why I took Big Invasion.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. All right. That's what I got. All right. At least I got him on the ticket. Let's go to the 3. This horse, as Kirt mentioned, did win last time. What I do like about this horse coming in is this horse's last race. This horse was able to come off the pace a little bit, a little change in running style. So if the 5 is that much quicker and the 3 decides, you know what, I'll sit just off and take a run late, that helps my exactor 5 and 3, 3 and 5, but it doesn't battle them. I just like horses when they do something a little bit different. This horse almost won a grade 2 doing something that's not kind of normal, and so looked good doing it. So I've got 5-3-1.
Yeah, I'm with you on Caravel. I also threw in number 10, Motorius. This is a horse that will be another closer in the field. Comes off the Del Mar race where the horse just mowed him down late by a length and a half. Previous to that, this horse has run so well in 2023. 5 starts, 3 wins in 2 seconds. This is another one with home field advantage. I might even play this horse to win. If I get the right odds, I'll be tying it up with that one horse, and I think it's a bombs away race, so I'm going to give you 1-10-3. All right, we're down to the final race on Saturday, and that's going to be the Breeders' Cup Sprint. They're going to go 6 furlongs. Elite Power won this race last year at 5-1. Stretch, one of the shorter fields of only 9. Who do you like?
Yeah, for sure. Quick note on that last race. There's a couple also eligibles. If there's some scratches, they actually would be contenders if they got in. Didn't mention them, but pay attention on the alsos. All weekend, pay attention. If they sneak in, we saw one win a couple years ago. Let's go. My top, this is a sprint. I've had various ranges of success and failures and unfortunate losses in this race. So
yeah,
it's
Jackie's Warrior. Yeah.
It keeps
taking
going.
my money.
Yeah. So it goes on, and now it's the last race in the sequence. So could be closing out some pick 4s, pick 5s in there. And so let's go. The pace is always quick usually in this race, but I don't think it's going to be as quick as normal because I don't think there's any need the leads in here. We've got lots of talent in here. I think the jockeys can recognize the situation, which only makes this race that much tougher. So I'm going to kind of cover myself a little bit, fence it, and say I don't have a strong opinion in here. But I am going to go to the 9 as my top selection. If you've watched before, I do like the cutback angle. This horse is perfect in the money at the distance. I think this horse has potential to stalk, take over early, and hold off the closers because of that kind of cutback. So that's why it's my top selection. Kirt, you went to the 7?
I went to the 7 for the same reason. I don't see a lot of speed in here. And Speedboat Beach, the 7, well, it brings speed to the race. Last time out, I was a big fan of Dr. Shivel in here, and I'm going, I'm taking it. Then I watched that last replay, changed my mind on that, as Speedboat Beach broke out of the gate really fast, but didn't go to the lead, was not sent at all, sat on the outside in second. Dr. Shivel came up the inside, took the inside away, pushed Speedboat to the outside, so I had the 3-wide trip. But down the lane, this horse fought every step of the way to the wire, only to lose. But that was the first start of the year. If they gun this horse early on to get position, it gets down to the rail. I think it can go a long way. This is a big play for me. I like the 7 on top.
Yeah, that's a good call. Good points on that. I did watch the replay as well, and I'm probably going to have to include your 7. Let's talk about the 2. I like the 2. I think this horse is very versatile. If you look, last time was right on the rail, kind of showing some speed. 2 back was at the back, circled the field, only to lose because it did lose a lot of ground in there. So it'll be interesting to see what the running style is. I think just as you mentioned that your horse can certainly improve, I think the 2-horse could certainly improve depending on the trip. That's why it's my second selection.
Yeah, Dr. Shivel should have won this race 2 years ago. Aloha West ended up getting the win. Maybe they pulled the trigger a little bit early. And as the horse was so close to the pace, opened up, got caught. But it will be close up. I think it'll be chasing the 7 every step of the way. And that's why I have those 2.
For sure. And kind of my unsure what to do with this 6-horse. The last race has a layoff, not really a great angle. I just think that this horse just wins races, and I didn't want to leave him out. That last race, it shows the troubled trip, and that's what exactly happened on the turn. This horse was starting to move, lost a bit of momentum, and then regained himself and closed and battled out. And so it was a good victory, simply wins races. So certainly can't, I got to include that one. And you've got the 8. I agree with you. You can't leave that one out either.
No, you can't. Won this race last year. Couldn't win last time out and beat the 9. But any of the previous races before that are good enough to win this one. But the horse does need a setup, as it does have that late kick down the lane. But I just don't think there's going to be that much pace, so I can't move this horse up any farther. So I'm 7, 2, and 8. Okay, Stretch, what's your bets in race 3?
Okay, we're gonna start small with a Kirt bet. Yeah, I'll take full credit. Learned this the last few years. $5 tri wheel, 3 with 4, 5, 9. So it's a $5 total 30.
And myself, I'm just doing a $20 straight exactor, 3 and 9. Okay, Stretch, race 4, what do you have?
All right, we're going to go with a couple bets because that's what I like to do. We're going to do a $1 pick 4 wheel, which 60 cents is the minimum. I'm just going with the dollar confident. We're going to go 3, 6, and 9. King the 1 with 2, 10, 14 with a bunch 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. And I want to throw in an exactor box, $3 exactor box, 3, 6, and 9. Total bet 63.
And myself, I'm going after a 60-cent pick 4. I'm going to take 2, 3, 6 with 1 with 3, 6, 10, 14. Round it out with 3, 4, and 5. That'll cost $21.60. Okay, Stretch, race number 5. What do you have?
Okay, we're going to play another pick 4. Just stick with the dollar base bet. You can go cheaper so it wouldn't cost as much. 1, 5, and 7. King the 10 with 3, 4, 5, 6 with 5, 8, 9.
And myself, I'm going to go a $5 tractor wheel. I'm taking the 1 on top with the 7 for second with the 3, 5. And then I'm going to do the wedge. 1 with 3, 5 with 7. That'll cost $20.
Did you want to borrow 10 to make it a wheel? Like, what if it comes 1, 3, 5? You get nothing.
No.
Okay.
I only have so much money, Stretch.
Fair.
Okay, Stretch, race number 6. What's your bet?
Okay, so one
Just
quick...
a reminder, yeah.
Go ahead.
Do the reminder about in Canada if you're playing the pick 6, which we didn't play.
We decided not on the pick 6. It's tough enough sometimes getting a double or even one winner. The pick 6 in Canada, the base bet is $1.40. If you're playing HBI, you have to go to the custom amount. So you're not going to see $1.40. Go to the custom, $1.40. Hit that, and then you can play the ticket. And then there's some pick 3s. There's the all turf pick 3, which is $4 minimum. Same kind of, I don't think you can get $4. It'd be another custom bet. So just kind of pay attention. If you're unsure, throw in the different amounts. Let's give you my exactor box in race 6, $3 exactor box, 2, 10, 14.
And I'm long shot hunting. I'm going to go 30 to place on the 3. Okay, Stretch, race number 7. What's your plays?
Okay, we're going to go a $2 tri wheel. 4 with 3, 5, 6, 8 with 3, 5, 6, 8, totaling 24.
And myself, I'm going after the pick 3. I'm going to do a $1 pick 3. 3, 4, 5 with 1, 5, 9 with 3 and 8. That'll cost $18. Race number 8, Stretch, what do you have?
Well, couple bets. I've been playing some pick 4s. Why stop now? So let's go a 60-cent pick 4. It's a tough one. Let's go 5, 8, 9 with 3, 8, 12 with 3, 5 with 2, 6, 8, 9 and a $3 exacta box, 5, 8, 9. Total bets, $43.20.
And myself, I like a long shot, so I'm going to take the one, a $1 exactor with all, and then I'm going to reverse it and take a $1 exactor all with one. That's going to cost $22. Okay, Stretch, on to race number 9. What about this one?
All right, let's go. A couple bets again. 30 win on 3, and then a $10 exacta wheel. 312 with 2, 3, 8, 12 is the total.
All right. And myself, I'm going after the pick 3. I'm taking 3, 5, 8 with 1, 7, 8, 10 with 2, 7, a $1 ticket. That's going to cost $24. Okay, Stretch, on to race number 10. What's your place?
All right, here we go. 20 win on 5, 40 place on 5. Hoping to get paid out. It's a tough race. Just had to take a horse to win.
Yeah, and I'm going for a little bit of a shot here. I'm going after the tractor. I'm going to take a $1 tractor wheel, 110, 110 with 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. Then I'm going to do the wedge, 110 with 3, 4, 5, 7, 8 with 110. That'll cost $20. Okay, rounding it off, Stretch, race number 11. How are you ending it off?
Well, why wouldn't I end it with a high 5? Because remember, those are going to be
that's your
carryovers.
play.
That's the play. I'm thinking that's not going to go in race 10 because it's so tough. So if you can bet a 60-cent high 5, 2, 6, 8, 9 with 2, 6, 8, 9 with 2, 6, 8, 9. And why not again? 2, 6, 8, 9 with 1, 4, and 7 on the bottom. Total bets, 57.60.
And myself, I'm going to make it a little bit easier for you. 30 to win on the 7. Good luck, everyone, with all your selections on Friday and Saturday for the Breeders' Cup. And we'll be back with ASD Live in 2024. Good luck with all your wagers.